Matthew 7 verse 7, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened to you." This verse, spoken by Jesus during the Sermon on the Mount, reveals the heart of God toward his people. He is a loving Father who hears, responds, and blesses those who turn to him with persistent faith. A child's confidence in their parent. The first step is asking. Think of a child who needs something from their parent. When a child is hungry, they confidently say, "Mom, can I have a snack?" They don't doubt whether their parent has food or the ability to provide it. They ask because they trust their parent will listen and respond. Likewise, Jesus encourages us to ask God with the same confidence. James 4 verse 2 reminds us, "You do not have because you do not ask God." Asking is an act of humility and faith. It acknowledges that we need something beyond ourselves and that God is the ultimate source of provision. Imagine needing advice for a major decision at work. Instead of struggling alone, you call a trusted mentor, knowing their wisdom will help. That's how asking works with God. We acknowledge his wisdom and seek it confidently. A treasure hunt. The next level is seeking. Asking is straightforward, but seeking requires effort and determination. It's like embarking on a treasure hunt, where you eagerly follow clues, believing there's a valuable reward at the end. Proverbs 8 verse 17 says, "I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me." God desires us to actively pursue him and his will. This seeking often involves studying his word, praying, and aligning our hearts with his purposes. It's not about finding quick answers, but about building a deeper relationship with him. Think of seeking like searching for your misplaced car keys. You don't stop looking until you find them because they're essential for moving forward. In the same way, when we seek God's guidance and presence, we persist because we know his answers are vital for our journey. A student preparing for an important exam doesn't just ask for study tips but dives into their textbooks, research, and practices. Their seeking reflects their commitment to achieving their goal. Our seeking God should mirror this level of dedication. Persistence pays off. Finally, Jesus invites us to knock. Knocking represents perseverance. It's not about lightly tapping once and walking away. It's about persistently knocking until the door is opened. This persistence demonstrates faith and trust in God's timing. Luke 18 verses 1 to 8 tells the parable of the persistent widow who kept appealing to an unjust judge until he granted her request. If persistence works with an unjust human, how much more will it work with our loving Father? Think of a friend visiting your home. They knock on your door, but if you don't hear them the first time, they knock again, louder and longer. Their persistence shows they trust you're inside and will eventually answer. Likewise, persistent prayer reflects our trust that God is listening. Consider an entrepreneur pitching their idea to investors. The first few rejections might be discouraging, but they keep knocking on doors until someone listens. In the same way, we should keep knocking in prayer, trusting that God's response will come. God's response, trusting his timing. The promise in Matthew 7 verse 7 assures us that God hears and responds. However, his answers might not always match our expectations. Sometimes he says yes, sometimes not yet, and other times no because he knows what's best for us. Isaiah 55 verses 8 to 9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." Trusting God means believing that his response, even if delayed or different, is perfect. Think of planting a seed. You water it and care for it, but the growth happens in its own time. Likewise, God's answers often come at the perfect moment, even if we don't see immediate results. The journey of faith. Matthew 7 verse 7 teaches us that persistent prayer is a journey of faith. Asking shows our trust in God's ability to provide. Seeking reflects our commitment to knowing him more deeply. Knocking demonstrates our perseverance and trust in his timing. God isn't just a distant being but a loving Father who delights in blessing his children. So whether you're asking, seeking, or knocking, take heart. He hears, he cares, and he will respond. As you persist, you'll find not just the answers you seek but also a deeper relationship with him.